of centre court. An intriguing competition, an intriguing matchup. Two very experienced players out on court, Dane. Two newcomers also out there. Let's have a closer look at the four players to kickstart this 2017 World Championship campaign.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because remember, Evandro took a third here at the World Championships, which was in the Netherlands 2 years ago in 2015. That was with his partner Salgado. And on the other side of the net, Varenhorst, he took the silver. And that's with the newly retired Reinder Numidor. That's why he has a new partner.
So two referees out on court. Our first referee is Jose Maria Padron of Spain. Suzanne Lowry is the second referee from the United States of America. Now, Dane, talk us through some of the stats on the four players out on court. You know them well. You played against so many of the big names who'll be in these World Championships. Let's start with the Dutch duo.
Yeah, the Dutch duo, as you mentioned, the 45th ranked team out of 48, which is surprising because Varenhorst, as I said, was a silver medalist. But his new partner, Martin van Garderen, the youngster, 27 years of age, he will be in the backcourt, if you can imagine, at 6'7". But his partner, Christian Varenhorst, 211 centimeters tall, at 6'11". He can absolutely own the net if he ever catches fire. Look out for him as a blocker. If they win the net, they have a possibility of upsetting the Brazilians on the other side of the net. There's a good look at Andre Loyola Stein, just 22 years of age. This guy is 6'7", 201 centimeters tall, been on tour for 4 seasons. He can play at the net, he can play defensively, a very versatile player and a definite up-and-comer, the future of Brazilian volleyball.
It's an intriguing matchup, Dane. Two experienced players, two new players on both teams, but the new players from Brazil have had a much better start to the 2017 season. This is a big fan of yours, I know, Evandro.
Yes, Evandro, one of the fiercest serves in all of beach volleyball. If he gets that serve going, you better look out. He's 27 years of age. He is out of Rio de Janeiro, so right away, number 4 versus number 45, but anyone can win, and we are going to see upsets throughout this tournament.
There are 48 men's and women's teams at 12 pools. 4 teams are in each pool. Now, the first 2 will automatically go through. The top place teams in third position also go through, but there'll be pool play as we get the action underway. So, Dane, very important for both these teams to kickstart their World Championship campaign with a good result. Brazil with service. Evandro. Oh, and the Dutch almost get caught out of play with the first service there. Wouldn't that be the perfect start for Evandro to put down an ace? Loyola reads the play well. First point on the board. It's a rally point scoring game, remember. Whether you're serving or receiving, if you put that ball down on the opponent's sand, you take the point.
It's going to be interesting. Right away, you can see the ball control may be a little bit suspect on the Dutch side of the net. So much service pressure will come from Evandro.
Well, the Brazilian player has an amazing serve, but also can pick up quite a large service error stat, and that's something that we'll follow carefully as the match unfolds. First point on the board for the Dutch team. This is the new partner for Varenhorst, Martin van Garderen. And Garderen serves to Loyola. There's a lovely set for Loyola to attack now for Brazil. Over the top. Great shot from Loyola.
So interesting. I don't know that you'll ever find this, Nick, but the shortest player on court is 6'7", which is incredible. Both defenders 6'7", and then you have the guys at the net, Varenhorst at 6'11", as well as Evandro. So much hideout on the court. So what that means is, who can control the net? Will it be Evandro or Loyola Stein, or will it be Varenhorst? Because we've seen Varenhorst really put people in what we call the phone booth, where they can't get around him. He's blocking the ball straight down. So who can catch fire will have the advantage here.
All score. Trading side outs, the teams here at the moment. There's a lovely set for Van Garderen. And the net is the name of the game. Our expert analyst and Olympic champion has pointed that out. And that's a lovely block for Andre Loyola.
Yeah, you will see Evandro and Andre Loyola switch. That means sometimes they'll be at the net. Sometimes the player will be defensively on the Netherlands side. It will be Varenhorst at the net full time. And Van Garderen usually playing defense at 6'7".
Advantages with Brazil, 3-2. Here is Evandro, 27-year-old out of Rio de Janeiro with that big jump serve. Goes cross court. Varenhorst now with the set. And that's a good shot.
Solid shot, cross court. The Brazilians were in good position. Blocking line, funneling at angle, but that ball hit too quickly for Evandro to even react.
Good call from Evandro to his partner, Andre Loyola, to leave the serve way too deep into the Brazilian court. Advantage back with Brazil. Now, there's a side switch every time 7 or a multiple of 7 is hit on the scoreboard. The wind is gathering a little pace out there, Dane, and that side switch could be quite important to make the match fair.
Yeah, out here on Danube Island, it gets gusty. It gets very windy, and that could be a factor. Although the stadium is protecting a little bit of that wind. There's a great little roll shot by Garderen with a nice soft little shot here, catching the Brazilian defense on their heels. That's what they're going to have to play. Smart volleyball, not all power. They're going to have to use finesse at times if they're going to rattle this Brazilian duo.
Oh, a trickler for Varenhorst. Catches the tape of the net, but it spills over to the Brazilian side rather than the Netherlands. Look at that. Not sure whether he meant it to be. Some people say that there are players out there that practice that serve. Nonetheless, it's a valuable point for the Dutch as they take the lead for the first time in this opening set, an opening match of the 2017 FIVB World Beach Volleyball Championships.
Yeah, you mentioned that trickler serve. We like to call it a trickler when it rolls right over the net. Here, Brazil going right back at the Netherlands with a nice finesse shot just over the block.
Here's Evandro with service for Brazil. Evandro looks to finish it. Oh, and Varenhorst was there at the net, but just didn't quite get the direction on the ball from the block.
And Evandro, his defense is much improved. Remember, he used to play with Pedro Salgado. They would also switch at the net and playing defensively, which has really improved his game. But his biggest weapon is his serve. Let's see if he can get it going.
Well, he's targeting Varenhorst. Oh, look at that. Great block from Loyola. It's a break point for the Brazilians. That was a big play.
Yeah, it's huge. Right out of the gate, it's Brazil who is owning the block. Look at Loyola Stein get up and way over. It's not about just height, but it's about penetrating on the opposition side of the net.
Varenhorst.
And we call that a tool or a use of the block, hitting the block and ricocheting it out of bounds. Perfect play right there for the Dutch.
Garderen with service. Opting to serve Loyola, who's now on the attack for Brazil. Lovely shot right over the top. Let's not forget that Varenhorst is going to be one of the tallest players in the competition, and to rainbow Varenhorst, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he is such a force at the net. And I mentioned he got a silver medal at the World Championships. That was in 2015 in their home country, right in The Hague, and that was with Reinder Numador, who has since retired. But I'll tell you what, they took Alisson and Bruno to the limit. They won the first set and then lost the next 2 sets in what many, Nick, call one of the most classic historic battles in the history of the sport. It was incredible. If you get a chance to watch the 2015 World Championship Finals, Brazil versus the Dutch, it was something to see.
And of course, Bruno and Alisson went on to win Olympic gold a year later, just adding even more credibility to that match that you refer to, Dane.
Yeah, I think that match was a stepping stone. When you win a battle like that, it really puts you to the test. And so Alisson and Bruno will take the court here in Vienna as the Olympic gold medalist and the defending world champs.
Here is Varenhorst with service. Ironically, the Brazilian duo have a World Championship medalist on their team as well, but it's Evandro who took the bronze in the World Championships 2 years ago. Worlds are contested every 2 years. Dutch are battling bravely to stay in this first match and opening set.
This is a beautiful dig by Garderen, putting it up on the net. Varenhorst knows exactly how to get it to the sand. Great defense.
And Varenhorst with the float serve. Loyola attacks for Brazil. Oh, off the fingertips of Loyola gives the point score to Brazil and to tie the scores at 9-all. They were down by 3 at one point. This is good play from the Dutch.
Yeah, more ball control now, less unforced errors. A great touch by Varenhorst, and then a use of the hands by Garderen.
No choice but to go over on 2 for Varenhorst. Set for Loyola. Van der Garderen. Yes, he takes it. And Van Garderen takes the Dutch one clear. 10-19. And there's a chance here for Holland to open up an advantage going into the technical time-out when there's a break with a total of 21 points. Look at this 4-point service run from the Dutch team here. Evandro sets the ball. Oh, and that's a good spike from Loyola. Andre Loyola, just 22 years of age, a relative newcomer to the tour, but he's learning fast.
Yeah, he really is. And as you mentioned, that technical timeout, that's about the halfway point of the set. We're 1 point away from that, and it's kind of a gauge of where you're at halfway through. You want to have the edge, though, if you can, and the Dutch will have that edge as we enter the technical timeout. So a lot closer than you would imagine. If you look at the statistics, you look at the seeding, Brazil, number 4. The Dutch, number 45. That is not an error. But then you look at the score and look how tight it is. So anything can happen here. I expect to see a lot of upsets throughout the week because every team is of such high caliber and there's so much parity.
Both of these teams have got an established player on either side. Both have brought in a new player to join them for the 2017 season. The Brazilian duo gelled right from the get-go. Silver medal at the beach volleyball opener, the major series opener, of course, in Fort Lauderdale. The Dutch seem to be taking a little time, a little longer to gel in the early part of the 2017 season. But the way they played this morning, Dane, in those first few exchanges, it's starting to look like all of that hard work early season is starting to come off, pay off, and work better together.
Yeah, it was going to be some time. When Christian Varenhorst lost Reiner Numidor, a veteran, a very cagey veteran with so much volleyball IQ, it was going to be kind of a transition for him. And like you're talking about, a 17th in Rio, a 41st in Moscow, and then the Hague, the 3-star event, they got 25th. So they haven't had a top 10 finish this season, this team from the Dutch. And I think they can bring it together because the potential's there. If you look at those numbers, I can't believe they've been finishing so low when you look at the caliber of team that they are.
Well, the caliber of team that they are has a 1-point advantage over Brazil. We're at the halfway point of the opening set here in the first match of the 2017 FIVB Beach Volleyball World Championships. Presented by A1, and Brazil come out in the second part of the first set, meaning business. A very aggressive attacking shot from Andre Loyola to level the scores at 11-all. Here is Loyola serving. Oh, and that's a frustrating service error.
Yeah, that's just a mental error, not tossing the ball high enough and really allowing the Dutch to have a free point there. You have to be careful. You can't afford to give away anything at this level.
Evandro sets for Loyola. And Varenhorst, well, He will be known as one of the tallest, and by the end of this competition, if they can stay in it, I'm sure he will have one of the best block records. 6 feet 11, time to perfection.
We knew he needed to get started at the net. That is his power position. Serving the ball and running to the net is Varenhorst once again. Trying to get another block, but Loyola Stein just too smart right there. That's what Brazil has to do. Limit the number of consecutive points that Varenhorst can get up at the net. You know, when we see that statistic in the lower left-hand corner of the screen of the runs of points that happen, it's important that you only give 1 or 2 points away at a time. You don't want to give away points in bunches.
There's a lapse in concentration again from Evandro at the back of the court. Break for the Dutch now.
Just off the hands. And as an effective hitter, that's what you want to do. Vary your speed so the block may be out of position when you contact it.
Martin van Garderen, 27 years of age, with service for Holland. Here's Loyola on the attack for Brazil. Oh, Varenhorst is at the net. Now he drops off the net. The Dutch have this play covered over on 2, and it's good for Holland. 3 points clear.
How about this? An upset brewing, an upset in the making here. The Netherlands, with that 3-point cushion, a very difficult lead to attain, but it's happening with the controlling of the net, as we mentioned early on. Brazil with a second opportunity, rolling it, and then the nice finesse poke shot. Varenhorst, he might be 6'11", but he has the smooth shot as well.
Here's Van Garderen with service. A little bit of pressure on Loyola and Evandro now from the Dutch. Evandro, nice set for Loyola to attack. Oh, but look at these blocks now. They're starting to come together very nicely for Christian Varenhorst.
Look at how he gets up and presses about 1.5 feet on the Brazilian side of the net. Just nowhere to go for Andre Loyola Stein. He tries to challenge the block, and that's what happens more times than not when Christian Varenhorst is up at the net. Remember, Christian Varenhorst, only 27 years of age. He's got a lot of future here in this sport. Right now, he's trying to find his way with a new partner in Martin van Garderen, and they're looking really solid right now. Like I said, everybody has tried to peak at this point, and you're going to see the teams emerge that have prepared.
Yeah, 192 athletes from 40 countries, 216 matches in total, over 800 hours of television broadcast around the world. This is the big one, as the Olympic champ Dame Blanton has pointed out. Not only looking for a gold medal, there's also $1 million prize purse to be shared out. Men and women in action. We'll be watching the United States of America and their top women's team after this match. But right now, the first upset of the 2017 Beach Volleyball World Championships could be on the cards with a 16-12 lead for the Dutch. They've just called a timeout, Brazil, to try and break the rhythm of the Dutch game. Van Garderen with service. Evandro sets for his partner, Loyola. And he's put it out. He read the angle very nicely, but a little too much cut on the ball. And now 5 clear for their number 45 seeds. Van Garderen and Varenhorst. Holland with the service. Evandro sets Loyola once again. This time he makes it count.
Interesting, when we began the match, it was the Netherlands that was having trouble with ball control. Now it seems to be the Brazilians not passing the ball in the right spot, opting for these roll shots. And when you have a guy like Varenhorst at the net, you have to roll it so high that it makes it easier for the defender to really go after it. And now another serve. We've seen that a couple times by Andrew Loyola Stein into the net, just not even close. And I always say, when I'm working with any volleyball player, you want to miss deep, not into the net, because The Netherlands, they don't even have to decide whether they're going to pass the ball or not. It's not even clearing.
Varenhorst with the serve. You can see the wind just starting to pick up, certainly blowing the ball deeper into the Brazilian court. Oh, and Evandro. Looks like they're starting to accept defeat in this first set. 6 clear now.
Like I said, they do not look good. Some unforced errors. They look a little lackadaisical, kind of laid back, not really executing right now. There's another set that's about 5 feet off the net, but Loyola Stein able to get the kill.
Good cross-court attacking shot from Loyola Stein. Perfect set from his partner. Just gets one hand to it. Way too late for Van Garderen. Important side out for the Brazilians. Evandro serving, cross-court. Oh, and that's a great serve. Dane has already pointed out to watch this man's service. It's normally the speed that he puts on the ball, but that was the angle.
Such a sharp angle and with such velocity, if you don't read that right out of his hand, it's just too late. An ace again by Evandro. That's why he has been voted best server on tour by his peers, because of that. He served the same spot last time. You got to know he might be going there again, but it's just too tough to handle. Looks like Brazil's going to call a timeout and think this over, but I'll tell you what, this first set has gotten a little bit out of control on the Brazilian side. You can see the anger. Evandro trying to encourage his partner Loyola Stein, and it's only positive vibes on the Dutch side.
There's a great shot there of Christian Varenhorst, as Dane's already pointed out, 27 years of age and experience, but still a young player. 71 tournaments against his name, 3 career wins, and that memorable silver medal in the World Championships. There's his opposite, another very experienced player, Evandro, who took the bronze at the last FIVB World Championships in The Hague 2 years ago. Both players with new partners for the 2017 season. So the Dutch called the timeout just to try and break that service rhythm of Evandro. 2 back-to-back aces. Now, Evandro needs more. If you look at the scoreboard, Varenhorst attacks for Holland. Good block at the net from Loyola. And the timeout does not work for the Dutch duo. Picking it up where they left off here. Great block at the net from the young Brazilian.
Yeah, but it does work for the Brazilians. Calling that timeout got everything on their side, and another block for Brazil. But the question is it too late this run?
Evandro now. Oh, a little unorthodox from the Dutch, but the ball is still up. That is a lovely bit of class and finesse at the net from Loyola with the pressure on Brazil.
Wow, the Netherlands, they just can't stop the momentum right now. And Brazil, just a freight train coming right at them. No stopping. And this would be a miraculous comeback, because it looked like the Netherlands were in complete control. Evandro whipped up a few aces, and now a few scrappy plays. Loyola Stein puts it away. And Brazil just 1 point away from tying. Look at that, 4 points in a row for Brazil. And before that, 6 of 8 of the points had gone to the Netherlands.
Oh, spectacular serve once again from Evandro. Another great dig. The ball is still good. Evandro looks to finish it, but Varenhorst has the net covered. 2 meters 12. With an amazing vertical leap to go through that impressive height.
Check out Evandro laying it out, and then I was surprised Varenhorst stayed at the net, because that set's about 10 feet off, but it pays off. He gets over, he presses, he gets the block down, and now the Netherlands looking at set point.
Martin van Garderen with service. Garderen serves right down the middle of the two Brazilian players, but they've seen it coming. Loyola has no option but to watch the ball go over on two. They're out of position here, Brazil. But what a great shot from Evandro to get Brazil out of trouble. Still second set point for the Dutch. They just need to side out here, Dane. But they're scrapping for every point, Brazil.
That was a massive opportunity for the Netherlands. Give a lot of credit to Brazil, keeping that ball in a playable position. Loyola Stein puts it up nice and high for Evandro. A difficult body position for Evandro, but he finds the deep corner just in the court for the point.
Second set point. Andre Loyola for Brazil serves Varenhorst. Varenhorst looks to finish it, and it's all tied at 20 points all. You need to take the set by 2 clear points. This would be a fantastic recovery from the Brazilians if they can continue to turn this opening set around.
They've done the damage. Now it's going to be a game to 2. Who can get that 2-point margin first? And right now, I'll tell you what, the Netherlands, they look a little shaky. They finally get that ball to fall, but Brazil has done all sorts of damage. I think Brazil has all the momentum right now. If they could come back and win this and roll it into the second, it could be quick work, but the Netherlands definitely have other plans.
Oh, he's pushed it out. Set 1 has gone to the Netherlands. Martin van Garderen and Christian Varenhorst opened up a 6-point lead and then let it all slip by, but just pull it off at the end. And that is quite an upset. The 45 seeds from Holland get the first set against the number 4 seeds from Brazil.
Yeah, Nick, so many errors in that first match, their first set, I should say. Unforced errors, and the Netherlands squeaking out a 22-20 first set win. Number 45 seed taking down the number 4 seed in the first set. The question is, can they finish the job and win this match here? But I think there was a lot of nerves on the mind of all 4 players, because when I watched that match, I would say it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty volleyball. There was a lot of unforced errors, and there was some great blocks at the net, but which team can clean it up, keep the ball in play more often, eliminate those unforced errors and those easy serves, and you'll be in better shape. Brazil wins the blocking statistic 4-3, but that's very close, and then 2-1 in the aces. So Brazil wins blocking and aces, yet still lose the set. That means that Brazil's making some unforced errors that they have to really clean up if they're going to rectify the situation.
Pressure is on Brazil. They have to win the second set to stay in the match. Success once again for the Netherlands will mean that they have won the first of their pool play matches. Well, that was a big serve from Van Garderen. And the first point goes to the Dutch. Well, Loyola very aggressive with his opening play, but it doesn't work for Brazil at all. Serve looked to be going out, but he had no choice but to go for it. He was committed.
Remember, it all starts with that serve. It throws Brazil a bit off kilter, what we call out of system, so it's not as easy for them to put the ball away. And then the Netherlands, they make them pay immediately.
Van Garderen. Oh, both Brazilian players say no to each other, and they're both wrong. It's down right on the line. A little kiss off the tape of the net. Quick 2-0 start for the Dutch team.
I think that was wishful thinking. They were both wishing that the ball was going to go out, but it definitely lands in. Any part of that ball hitting the line is ruled inbounds.
Oh, well, that was a little bit of a headwind. The Dutch have the wind blowing against their backs, and the Brazilians are playing against the wind, and having to hit the ball a little harder could possibly be affecting the judgment of the Brazilians, but it's a good, quick, fast opening 3-0 start for the Dutch team. Van Garderen continues with this impressive service run. Cross-court to Evandro, set from Loyola. Evandro now attacks. And that's the first time we've seen a little mistake from Varenhorst at the net, just off the fingertips. First point on the board for Brazil.
Yeah, as a blocker in that position, you're just trying to slow the ball down and hope that you get it high enough for your defender to make a run at it. That one, he didn't get control of it. It goes off the high hands and way out.
Evandro with his own big power play serve. Good play from Holland. Loyola almost having to step out of the court to keep the ball up.
And you see the Netherlands really scrappy after that errant pass. If they can stop Evandro from having multiple serves on the end line, that will frustrate the Brazilians, and that could put a lot of pressure on the Brazilians as well, because that is the strength. So give a lot of credit right there for the Netherlands taking care of business and putting that ball away, even though they were way out of system.
That's a nice set for Loyola, and he makes it work. Better play from Brazil, important. Side out. The early break still with the Dutch at 4-2, but service now with Brazil. Andre Loyola with service. Goes cross-court to Van Garderen. Here's the set from Varenhorst. Mistimed that one.
You see these balls being hit out of bounds, these errant balls. If you don't have an optimum swing, if it's not perfect, you can't afford to err. You have to give yourself another opportunity by rolling that ball in the court, then setting up your defense. As soon as you hit it out of bounds, it's an unforced error. You give the other team a point, and you cannot have that.
Quick side switch with 7 points total on the board. Good play from Evandro at the net. Can he take a second time? No, this time he's covered by Loyola. Loyola now attacks for Brazil. Gets a lovely cut on the ball to go cross-court. Dutch defense caught out of position and going the wrong way.
So Brazil's gotten themselves right back in. And remember, it was 3-0 to start things off. Van Garderen putting all sorts of pressure on the Brazilians, but they've held their composure and gotten back in. Remember, the Brazilians are the team that has all the pressure on them here in the second set due to the fact that they lost that first set 22-20.
Quick side out for the Dutch, 5-4. Definitely playing better than their seeding, but as Dane has already pointed out to us, they've had no results at all in the build-up to this World Championship on the FIVB World Tour. Varenhorst coming out on top, jousting with Loyola at the net. Too clear, a good break for the Dutch once again.
Yeah, you're seeing why the Dutch have had a really kind of up and down tough season so far. It's about consistency, Nick. You see them play at a high level, and there's a powerful serve. Loyola Stein, it only charges him up. He brings the biggest hit that we've seen here in this opening match of the World Championship. Wow, was that a serve? And then it kind of got him going. Sometimes a play like that, someone serves at you really hard, it can fire you up, and we saw that. The Brazilians just using that momentum to their advantage.
Oh, a service ace from Evandro, right down the middle, splitting both the players. Oh, tying the scores at 6-all. Beautiful serve from the Brazilian.
He just gets such extension. Take a look at his footwork. Actually, there was the end of the serve. Remember, if it hits any part of that line, it's ruled in. That was perfect.
Oh, and Van Garderen did so well to serve, receive, and contain the power and speed of the ball. But then the attacking play from the Netherlands just a little out of court. Brazil take the lead for the first time in this second set.
Serving pressure. We knew it would be a factor if Evandro could get that serve going. Again, another errant pass for the Netherlands, and they're in trouble. Well, this is an entirely different Brazilian duo than we saw in the first set. They're much more aggressive. They're attacking and taking advantage of situations rather than being passive and laid back. Here's a great serve. Gets the Netherlands in trouble. That's exactly what you're trying to do. And then great defense. Evandro is there. He converts to offense, and then he comes with a full head of steam and goes right at it. Forget the finesse. He's trying to finish and convert.
Well, they're the big guns of Pool D, this Brazilian duo. The fourth seeds. They have to play Cuba and Mexico on Sunday and next Tuesday. But neither of those teams are seeded in the top 30. They're expected to qualify easily. No question. Holland are giving them a run for their money here, Dane, but now we're starting to see some quality play from Brazil.
It's going to come down to real consistency. Both these teams a bit erratic at times, playing at a very high level and then giving up a few unforced errors. And right now, Brazil with all the momentum, but only a 3-point lead, and we've seen how quickly a lead can diminish here. It was the Dutch with a 6-point lead in the first set, and Brazil erased that. But look at the graph in the lower left-hand corner. 5 consecutive points for the Brazilians. You cannot allow that to happen. Runs of points are crucial. 1 or 2 points here and there, okay. But 3, 4, runs of 5 points even, that's just unacceptable. You're not going to win the set playing like that.
After such a good start for the Netherlands, winning the first set 22-20, they now find themselves under a fair bit of pressure from Brazil. The purpose for calling that timeout is to try and stop the rhythm, that 5-point run score of Brazil. You're allowed to call 1 timeout per set per team. And let's hope by using up their second set timeout that they can stop Evandro, whose serves have been so impressive. Brazil serving cross-court, another big serve from Evandro. Well read by Van Garderen as they're dropping off the net, and Varenhorst gets it over the top. Gets a very important side out there for the Dutch, justifying the call for the timeout.
Yeah, I think it's important that you win that point coming out of the timeout. And you see a little erratic there, but then to finish it off, a nice high line to the corner by Varenhorst. It's all about consistency. You got to start with a pass in a place where you can get a good set, and that really fires and ignites the offense.
Varenhorst serving Loyola. Loyola with a lovely set from his partner. Puts the ball out of play. Another valuable point back on the board for the Dutch.
If I'm the Dutch, I go to Loyola Stein every time. He has made so many shooting errors just wide of the court that maybe he's going to give you a few more. They go down the middle and go to Evandro. I think that's a mistake.
Oh, Varenhorst, good block at the net.
They get the point nonetheless, so the Dutch going both ways and not having a problem. This ball, you cannot challenge Varenhorst that low. Evandro knows that and gets a good reminder right there.
Oh, another block. Number 4 for Varenhorst.
Wow. We said it. This guy can catch fire, and look how far he is over the net. Here he's up. It's not about how high you get, it's how far over the net you can close off the angles of the opposition, and that's exactly what Varenhorst does. And what did I tell you? A 3-point lead is nothing out here. Brazil was up 9-6, and now, after a 4-0 run, the Netherlands are up 1. So look at those runs of points. Brazil has 5 in a row there, and then the Netherlands finishing off with 4 in a row. That's kind of giving you an indicator of these teams. They're very erratic. They're very up and down. They can play all-world great volleyball, and then all of a sudden they make really simple errors. So that's why you see those streaks of points, which you can't have as you get later on in the tournament. And it's going to be important. Remember, 48 teams are in this tournament. That means that there's 12 pools of 4. The top 2 teams will automatically advance, and then the third place teams, the best 4 third place teams will advance as well. The worst 8 third place teams have to play one another to get into single elimination. If you finish 4th in your pool, you will be catching the next flight home.
Well, for me, it's interesting that Brazil called their timeout so close, the technical timeout, to mark the halfway point. That's a good shot from Brazil. Well, it works. They get a very important point right off the back of the side out to tie the scores at 10-all. Next point on the board will take us into the technical timeout.
Yeah, Nick, they had to call that timeout. 4-0. I don't care if the technical timeout is the next point. You cannot allow that many points. And it pays off, huh? How about that? They get the next 2 points coming out of that timeout, and now they'll go into that technical timeout with a little bit of confidence rather than everything going the other way. But I'm so surprised that these 2 teams with this type of caliber of play are so erratic right now, and the only thing I can attribute it to is maybe there's some nerves on both sides, but they got to start working out these unforced errors. And
just trying to listen into the Dutch conversation there. The Netherlands have won the first set. Quite a surprise and shock here on centre court, 22-20. Brazil have to win this second to take it to a sprint third set. Remember, if we go to a third set, you only have to go to 15 points to clear rather than 21. But as our Olympic expert in the commentary box, Dane Blanton has pointed out that both teams having rather erratic play to their game. This second set still could go either team's way. Service error from Evandro gives the Netherlands. Scores all level at 11 points each. The Dutch number 1, Martin van Garderen, will take the service here. Serves cross-court, targeting Loyola. That's been the main tactic for the Dutch. And Varenhorst at the net. Well, Dane, I think they heard what you told them. Go for Loyola, and then Varenhorst has got the net covered. And that's a big point, a good side out.
I think that's their biggest strength right now, and possibly Brazilians' weakness. It doesn't seem that Loyola Stein is comfortable at all facing Varenhorst.
Again, serving Loyola Stein. Varenhorst is there at the net. He drops off the net, reads it perfectly. Now Varenhorst on the attack. Oh, but he gets one back, Loyola Stein. And that will boost his confidence no end.
Now this is high-level volleyball. Look at the fake by Varenhorst. The fake drop, then he pokes it, has an opportunity to score. But Loyola Stein says, how about I block you back? That's top quality right there. A smart play by Loyola Stein.
Scores all tied, 12-all. 1-0 for the Dutch. It's another big, beautiful serve from Evandro to take Brazil 1 point clear.
Evandro has had quite a serving match so far. I count 4 aces for Evandro, and he continues to heat up from that end line.
Again, bit of confusion from the Dutch. Oh! And Andre Loyola, confidence at an all-time high with his blocking at the net. Puts another one down to the sand.
So surprising to me, Van Garderen has to get wider. He's not wide enough, and then the set's too wide. He cannot see the blocker. He hits the ball blind, and Loyola Stein makes him pay once again.
Little kiss from the net from Evandro. No let ball, of course, in beach volleyball in this modern era. Very important side out for the Dutch to stop the point rally and run from Brazil.
Smart play, high off the hands. Do not challenge Andre Loyola Stein right now because he is on absolute fire.
Varenhorst with the serve, serving into the wind. And that float serve, well, he knew before it struck the ball that he'd just got his arm swing wrong. It's a break for Brazil now. Side switch, so Brazil playing into the wind. And the Dutch with the wind on their backs.
Yeah, what I don't like about that last serve is you're not going for it. You're not going for the ace, yet you still miss the serve. If you're going to miss serves, you got to be really going for it. It's got to be worth it. Oh, that ball looked like it went off the face of Andre Loyola Stein. He's going to have to clean his glasses. That one must have hurt a little bit, and that's part of the deal when you are a blocker up at the net. You're going to take a few balls off of the face. It just comes with the territory. He brushes it off, and he'll be good to go. And Nick, I'll tell you what, no lead is safe.
Could go either way. This will be a very tight and tense-second set here, but Brazil have to win it to stay in the match. Service error from Martin van Garderen. Gives a break to Brazil here. An important side out on the cards for the Dutch. Receiving service. Evandro. Big jump serve that's been so effective in this match. And it is again. Beautiful serving from the 27-year-old out of Rio de Janeiro. 2 meters 10 in height. Right between the two Dutch players, both of them going for the ball.
Oh. That's the best spot on the beach to serve. Right down the middle. Make the players make a decision. Now Evandro comes back and serves that one out of bounds, which I don't mind. That's what I'm talking about. If you're going for aces and you miss the serve, that's part of the deal. But if you're just doing jump float serves that aren't that effective, you better believe that ball needs to stay in the court. You cannot afford to give away free points. And Loyola Stein, you can see it that he's got a little momentum on his side as Brazil now 3 points up.
Yeah, 3 points up and looking good to take this to 3 sets. Loyola Stein. Back of court. Good play from Varenhorst. Reading the position of the opposition well. Temptation would have been to hit that ball as hard as he could. Nice little judge and cut on the ball.
Such a smart play, and to see that finesse from the big man, you can see how far his game has progressed at 27 years of age.
Oh, off the fingertips of Loyola at the net this time. Big point for the Dutch duo. Garderen tools that block off the hand of Loyola.
He's really good at recognizing when the block's there, when the block has the advantage, and then he goes and hits a flat ball. If the block is not there, that ball's going to go straight into the stands. He's a smart player, Van Garderen, and he goes for those high hands, tooling the block and using it.
Van Garderen with service. Again, sticking to the plan of serving Loyola, but Loyola, little help with the touch of the ball of the antenna there from Varenhorst. 2 points clear. Both teams have used their timeouts. This one has to go all the way to 21 or plus. Break for Brazil now. Evandro with service.
Wow, I was going to say that was a must-win point situation for the Netherlands if they're going to win this set. Now just 1 point away, and this is where you have to watch out for the block of Varenhorst. He seems to start to tighten things up here at the end of sets. It'll be important for Brazil to score this one.
Oh, not the best of play from Brazil. There's confusion from both sides of the net.
I don't know how the referee totally missed the call right there. Evandro came over the net and he blocked the set, and he didn't call a violation. I don't understand what that was, because it wasn't an attack by Varenhorst, and you cannot come over the net and block the ball on the second contact. That's why Varenhorst, here you go. He's trying to set his partner, and there's the block. He's blocking the set. That is completely illegal for Brazil to do that, and that's why Varenhorst motions to the referee, what's going on here? Fortunately for the Netherlands, they end up winning the point anyway.
That would have been quite a serious challenge, but all tied at 19 all.
Well, that's the thing. That wouldn't even be challengeable. The ref just missed it.
Here's Varenhorst with service. Brazil must win this second set to stay in this opening match. Oh, and Varenhorst, revenge is sweet. Match point for the Dutch. Match point for Holland.
Nick, what I tell you, Varenhorst at the end knows how to step his game up. He puts up an absolute wall, and right now, so much pressure on the Brazilians. If they lose to this 45th seeded team from the Netherlands, they could be in trouble starting off pool play.
Varenhorst with the float serve. Loyola sets, now attacks. Oh, scores are all tied.
Van Garderen did not hold his ground and fully read on defense. He guessed, he took one false step there, and then he tries to change direction, but it is too late. Brazil gets it to the sand. That was a huge missed opportunity for the Netherlands.
Andre Loyola Stein, I should say, for Brazil with service. Slide out for the Dutch will give them match point for the second time. Van Garderen, Varenhorst with the set ball. Van Garderen now goes deep, and it's too deep. 21-20. Match point is now, set point I should say, is now with Brazil. Brazil successful in taking the second set will take it to a third set playoff. Loyola serves way too deep.
Wow, you know, Nick, I just do not understand. That is straight mental. That's not a physical error. That's just a lack of focus and a lack of knowing your surroundings right there. He's let the Netherlands off the hook way too many times. And if Brazil wins this set, they'll be very fortunate because they just have not played sharp.
Van Garderen with service. Service error, this time from the players in orange. And that just adds to the frustration. Set point.
Well, Stein very fortunate because you know what? The Netherlands give it right back to him.
Big serve from Evandro! Ace serve gives Brazil the second set and a chance to take this opening match of the championship. 23-21. Brazilian fourth seeds at these World Championships come back into the match. Jose Marie Padron on the left of your screens. The toss for the third set. Remember, just to 15 points, not 21.
Netherlands with so many opportunities, Nick, and I think maybe the window has closed. We'll see what they can do here in the third set, but I think all the momentum has really gone back to the Brazilians. They closed that out with some tough serving, some great playing, and there you see the Netherlands taking set one, 22-20, and then set two going 23-21, just to give you an indication of how even these two teams are going head-to-head. They have never faced one another. This is the first time, and the blocks just about even. The Netherlands having the edge, but the aces, it's been all Evandro on that back line. 6 aces to 0 for the Brazilians, and that's been a big difference, especially in that second set.
Well, if you're cheering for the Netherlands, you must have felt that there was 2 or 3 points, 2 match points for the Dutch, but they let them slip by, so they have to come back out on centre court here. Again, the rule book says you have to win by 2 clear points, but we head to 15 rather than 21. A lot of the opinion leaders in the world of beach volleyball call this the third and sprint final set. Evandro picks it up where he left off at the end of the second set. Big serve, oh, literally picks it up where he left off with another spectacular ace.
just incredible. 7 aces for Evandro. Rips it. It clips right on top of the net. It goes right between the players, and we've seen that serve many a times, coming in at 69 kilometers an hour.
It's another brilliant serve from Evandro. He can do no wrong. The 27-year-old out of Rio de Janeiro, 2 meters 10 tall, but his service game has been the ace up the Brazilian sleeve with regards to success in this opening match. And after a nervous first set, they're now starting to live up to their number 4 seed status. Oh, hits the tape of the net and bounces out of court. First point is on the board for the Netherlands. With that, Martin van Garderen onto the back of court to take up service. There's his partner, Christian Varenhorst. Well, a service ace from Van Garderen. He'll be delighted with that. Confusion between Loyola Stein and Evandro. Both players going for the float serve. Scores all tied. Same tactic. Evandro calls it long, and he's absolutely right. Now, we side switch with 5 points total, or a calculation of rather than 7, due to the smaller target score required in this third set. Remember, we're heading to 15 rather than 21. Loyola with service for Brazil. There's the set from Varenhorst. Lovely shot from Van Garderen. He'll be happy to settle his nerves in this third and final set.
Yeah, that was pretty right there. We call that the cut shot. Wrist away, right to the open court. Evandro's playing the angle, but not that sharp. That's a beautiful cut shot.
First power play of this third set comes from Andre Loyola. Cross-court spike 4-3 to Brazil.
Loyola Stein still hitting the ball fearless against Varenhorst, even though Varenhorst already has registered 7 blocks on the match. Netherlands in trouble.
Good play from Evandro. There's the first break for the Brazilians now at 5-3. All came from Evandro's power play serve.
Yeah, that starts off everything. And then here he finishes it with a nice cut shot, ends up hitting it right on the line. But this serve is really dictating the pace of the match, putting the Netherlands on their heels each and every time.
Another spectacular serve from Evandro, and he puts it away. Varenhorst on the serve receive can only just contain the ball.
Wow, that was picture perfect. That's why Evandro, the 2015 and 2016 best server in the world, has gotten his team out to a 6-3 lead, but we've seen it so many times. Leads be erased here in this match.
Dutch use up their timeout after that impressive 3-point run from Brazil, all due to the serve of Evandro. And when it's good, Dane, and when it works, it's quite spectacular. And when he finds that rhythm and consistency to his service game, he's incredibly difficult to stop.
Yeah, I completely agree. The thing with him, you want to stop him on the first serve, because when he continues serving, he gets a lot of momentum, and he only gets more and more confident, and it makes it more difficult to even pass because he starts putting more velocity, starts getting even more accurate with his placement. So right now, a lot of pressure being put on the 45th seeded team of Martin van Garderen and Christian Varenhorst. Varenhorst, who was a silver medalist in the 2015 World Championships, that with Reinder Numador.
Oh, that almost trickled over the Dutch side of the net, but Unfortunately, for the blue and yellow vests of Brazil, it goes their own side. 10 points on the board. Quick side switch. We're watching the wind carefully here. There is a little bit of a headwind blowing down the court. Look at that. Hit the taping. But for Brazil, bounce the right side for the Dutch. An important score. Van Garderen serves into the net again. Starting to get a little frustrated with that service error stat that grows for the Dutch #1 player. 3 points clear. Remember, only heading to 15, not 21. So already the pressure is on the Netherlands. Loyola, back of court to serve for Brazil. Oh, and the float serve catches the Dutch out of position. They were both all breaking back off the net.
There's a good look at it. You go deep and then you do a little trickery. You serve the ball short. The Netherlands caught sleeping right now. 4-point edge for Brazil. There's a big hit by Van Garderen, thundering it down the line, and they need to make a move right now. We've seen leads disappear, but you don't want to wait too late. As you mentioned, Nick, you call this a sprint because there's no time to really settle in. It's just a 15 points. It comes very quickly, but you have to avoid getting yourself in too deep of a hole.
Oh, lovely play from Brazil. And with that 4-point advantage, they can just trade side-outs and comfortably take this third set. Pressure is off the Brazilians now after a slow start, I'm sure they won't mind me saying. But now they're starting to find the rhythm. They're in the groove. Here's Evandro with service. Van Garderen.
Wow, that set was ugly.
Yeah.
It came out, looked like a double contact, but you know what? No whistle from the referee, and Brazil cannot believe it. Both of them going at the referee from Spain, Jose Maria Padron. You know what I like about what he's doing is he's at least being consistent. He's not making any call, really. He's kind of letting them do their thing, but that one was a little bit close. Nice cover by Loyola Stein.
Oh, great cover from Brazil. Well, the Dutch read the back set perfectly, Dane, but Brazil fighting for every ball to get themselves out of trouble there.
Yeah, this is a really big point. It could have been a turning point for the Netherlands. Varenhorst looks like he has another block, but a cover. And that's how vital covering the ball is. If you can cover a good block, it frustrates that blocker because, you know what, you're just like stealing a point from him.
Oh, and Evandro. And now Andre Loyola with another super block at the net. Go 5 points clear.
That was really nice, and you can tell the momentum all on the Brazilian side. See the emotion, the body language. We saw it with Evandro with the high fives on the last play. That time, the embrace and the fist pump from Loyola Stein. Wow, that not even close. So wheels are starting to fall off for the Netherlands right here. They started strong. I thought they were very fortunate to win that first set, albeit very close. And then I thought they had their chances to seal it up. As I said, maybe that window had closed, and it looks like it really has closed for them here in this third set.
Yeah, the number 4 seeds now surely have this third set and match in the bag. 13-6 now. It becomes almost a formality for the Brazilians. All the work has been done. Spectacular service from Evandro. Great play at the net from his partner Loyola. And Loyola serving to wrap this first match of the World Championships up. Wow! Oh, what a spectacular save from Evandro to give Brazil match point.
I told you how much improved Evandro's defense has been in the backcourt. All those years playing with Pedro Salgado when they switched at the net. They finished 9th in the Olympics, and now with new partner Loyola Stein, he finds himself in the backcourt, and there's the fire, the emotion, and that positive body language. Everything going the right way for the Brazilians right now, and they're just 1 point away from getting that first victory here in the 2017 World Championships.
He can do no wrong, Evandro. Here is Andre Loyola Stein for Brazil with match point. The number 4 seeds, after a little bit of a slow start, now starting to find full flow and rhythm to their play. Up at the net for Loyola Stein. Nice little pokey shot over the top of the blocker. 7-14. Brazil just need to side out here, and the first match of the tournament is theirs.
Good shot by Van Garderen, but a little bit too late.
Evandro goes over on 2. Oh, what a great save. It's all over. 15-7, 23-21, 2 sets to 1 for the number 4 seeds, Evandro and Andre Loyola. Van Garderen and Christian Varenhorst for the Netherlands, who won the first set 20-22. But as the Brazilians got warmed up, got the feel of the sand, got the flow of the match, the number 4 seeds show their true colours, skill and quality on centre court here. And Dane, we were a little concerned after that first set, but wow, by the time we got to the end of the third set, the Brazilian duo really living up to their number 4 seed ranking.
Yeah, I just think they got off to a really poor start, but they owned it from the back line. 9 service aces to 3 for Brazil, them all coming from Evandro's power serve in that backcourt. And I think as the match went on, and that's what you want to do, Nick, you want to get momentum as it goes on, and that's what we saw Brazil do. They never looked away. They never had negative body language. They always stayed focused regardless of how fortunate the Netherlands was.
Well, I calculate 9 service aces from Evandro. But great play from both players, particularly after losing that first set. The heads were down for a little. Confidence was starting to wane, but then they gathered their thoughts, called a good timeout, and particularly after that second set, thought, right, let's get this back on track.
Yeah, the timeout calls were perfect. It got the momentum back just when they needed it. And Brazil, they took more risks, they were more consistent, and that's why they are the number 4 seed in the team, and they will have their first victory in pool play here in Pool D. So they're off on the right foot here to make it happen.